Alright, in this build video we're going to take off one of the last few OEM parts left on this thing, I think. The crash bar. I still have them inside the door here, and since I have this cage, this bar in the door is kind of redundant, so we're going to pull it out of there. Carbon fiber door panels on here, and I've got them screwed on, so I'm going to take the screws out. First I want to unhook my door limiter strap. I can just let it hang down, and now I'm going to take the screws out. Don't know what that's from. Leftover. Alrighty, here's a close-up for you inquiring minds. Here's the back bar, and it's got one bolt because this car is an LT era car, and I think the back bolt is a 15 millimeter, and then if you look up here into the front, which we will sneak back up here and show you, up here there are two 10 millimeter bolts on the front mount. Well, here's a case where the internet was right. I read a lot of threads where you're going to have to make a wrench to get back in there, and I tried all my wrenches. They wouldn't fit. I mean, I could get one back there, but then I couldn't get it to turn. So I'm going to do what everybody else did and take a piece of scrap metal and a 15 millimeter socket for the back and a 10 for the front, and I'm going to weld them on here and make my own tool. So hopefully that'll do the job. I don't care what people say. Message boards are still a go-to for technical information. So all I did was I went in and typed removing body door bars, and actually the first thing that comes up in Google is a thread on LS1 Tech, which I'm a moderator there, and I use it. I still use it to this day. Whereas, you know, other people's experiences are worth noting for sure. And you know, someone actually took a door and cut it open so you could see the bar inside. And there's a picture of some of the tools that another person made to get the bolts out. A lot of guys have pulled the door bar out through the front for the grommet for the wiring. They take out the inner wheel well plastic and, you know, take the wheel off so they can pull it straight out. And then others do what I did, which is drill a hole in the door and just pull it out that way. That socket stinks. It's had oil in it. That'll work for that one. Now I think I can get by with welding the other one on the other end. I think that'll work. We're gonna try it. Same thing with that one. It's had some oil in it. Alright, that ought to do it for that. Now I'm going to run inside and quench this in some water so it's nice and cool. And then we'll get back to wrenching on the door. It's kind of crude, but if it works, that's all that matters. So let's get back to rooting around in this door. Hey, I got it broken loose with my weird wrench. It's going to be slow going, but we'll get it. Oh yeah, I can already turn it by hand now. You might hear Brian Loans in the background talking. I'm watching the U.S. Street Nationals on my TV. Hey, there we go. The back is loose. Now it's time to do the front. I am accessing the front two bolts on the crash bar by reaching into what would have been the factory speaker location. This one's a little bit harder to get to. Got it started. Oh, I can't get in there right I need to get. So I got the first of the two front bolts all loose. I mean, it's ready to come out. I can turn it with my fingers when I can get on there. Aha, and I got it. Voila! It's an interesting looking bolt. So now I got the last one. I was able to use a regular ratchet wrench on that front. It's a 10mm. So now I'm going to use my homemade tool on the next one because the way the curve is, it's just a round pipe that they've cut a slot out of to bolt in there. So this one will probably take a while too. Well, I had it on there earlier. Now I suppose it's going to not cooperate any longer. It's a very tight fit. I'm assuming it's like the front one. It's really going to be really stiff until I can get it turned loose. This is not working out the way I wanted it to. Pretty amazing. I had it on there forever and a day. I was turning it. Now I can't even find the damn thing. If I get that regular ratchet in there now. I don't know. I doubt it. You know, this is being a pain in the ass. Patience is wearing thin. I'm on the last bolt. Alright, I gotta take a break. Let's kick that. Alright. Well, we need to make a hole to get this door bar out. And, you know, I'm not afraid to drill a hole, so let's put it right here. The hole saw bit that I'm using is a 2 1/8 inch diameter. I could have used a smaller one, but this is what I had on hand. Well, let's make sure our drill bit's in there tight, I guess. That sucks. You'd think I'd be a little more prepared for this kind of crap. Yep, there's our hole. There's the old bar. Hey, you can't even really see the hole. I'm not too worried about it. So this bar, at the rear, it had one hole with a 15mm bolt. And then in the front, it had two holes with two 10mm. And then it was also glued in place. Which I read about that online, so that wasn't a surprise. I expected that. Well, my great-grandma's scales tell me that the crash bar that I just took out of the door weighs about 7.5 pounds. Well, we can consider that project almost done, and all I gotta do is put this panel back on. It was just the opposite of how I took it off, so I guess watch me put it back on. Before I totally wrap this side up, I need to put my door limiter strap back on, and it does just what it says. It limits the door opening, so when I am strapped in the car, I can still close the door. It may be a little while before I get to the passenger side because I need to pull the car out and either turn it around or just pull it up here into the front part of the garage so I have a little more room to get the door all the way open so I can get my hands and arms down in that door. And as you can see, my driveway is currently covered with snow and ice, and Mickey Thompson drag radials don't do all that great on that kind of surface. A little over 4 years ago, I pulled the car out on the driveway in a very similar situation, as you can see in the photo that I ended up taking. And the car would barely move and get out of its own way on this, thin snow and ice concoction. I had a heck of a time getting it back in the garage, but I finally got it. That's going to conclude the door bar removal. I won't bore you with the passenger side because it's just as painful and monotonous and stressful and any other fancy words I could stick to it. It's just like the driver's side that you just watched. So just I guess if you want to know how to do the passenger side, watch the driver's side one again. and speaking of watching, thanks for watching.